And here we are with race number 3 of 29 here in the 1990 throwbacks, a brand new year, not too far into the season, and Darrell Waltrip and Geoff Bodine seem to be the two biggest competitors early on, both of them getting two top fives and sharing the two wins throughout the two races so far. We'll see if anything changes when we go here to Rockingham, which, as we know, is an extremely difficult course. We'll see who is able to get the pole. And the pole is going to go to Tim Richmond. To what I think is to no surprise, honestly. So Tim Richmond is going to be your pole sitter, and I should probably simulate forward. I'm not going to waste 5 minutes of a broadcast. Filling dead air. Okay, so Tim Richmond is going to be your pole sitter. Alan Kowicki on the outside pole in second. Geoff Bodine third. Rusty Wallace fourth. Dale Earnhardt fifth. Bill Elliott sixth. Terry Labonte seventh. Mark Martin eighth. Michael Waltrip in ninth. And Ken Schrader will round out the top 10. You know, it took me 3 tries to finally get the start of this race going, and I think I'm going to be tripping over my words more as the video continues, so I apologize for any issues like what just happened there. I'm hoping we can have a smooth, clean race. But Tim Richmond going for back-to-back wins here at Rockingham. Here's the command. So, as I mentioned, Tim Richmond going for back-to-back wins. Now, Rusty Wallace was the dominator the last time that we came here to Rockingham. He didn't win. Ken Schrader picked up a win here at Rockingham with a godlike pitch strategy. We'll see if he can pull some of that trickery here this time. Anyways, they come down to the line here at this 1 mile oval. And the green flag is out. As I try to zoom forward here. There we go. And as you can see, Tim Richmond's going to take an early lead. Going down the back straightaway. Entering corner number 3. Kowicki looks like he's going to get free for second. Bodine's going to fall into third. Earnhardt to fourth. Lap number 1 goes to Tim Richmond. And now Geoff Bodine, he's going to waste no time. He wants the second position. And I don't think he's going to get it. Kowicki's too good on the outside lane. One of the things about this track that makes it so difficult to pass, multi-groove racing. You can run up high just as fast as you can run down low. So basically it's pick a lane and see which one's the fastest. And you really won't know until you get into that lane. Right now, Michael Waltrip seems to be having a great start to this race. Trying to battle Bill Elliott there for the 7th position. Ricky Rudd's trying to find a way through. Phil Parsons and Harry Gant are also right there. Parsons is going to get underneath the 26. Looks like Parsons is going to be able to take that position. Move Phil Parsons to 9th. And 3 wide for 10th. Rudd up near the wall. He's going to get a great run off the corner. And Rudd will retain the 10th position at the very least. Meanwhile, Michael Waltrip trying to get around Bill Elliott. Looks like that's going to happen. Elliott did not get a good run off of turn 4. As he's also going to get passed by Parsons, and now Elliott's battling for the last position in the top 10, which he will retain. Going back up here, Rusty Wallace, he's trying to return to his dominating form here at this track. Not looking like he's going to have it so far, but he has now moved into the 5th position, getting around Dale Earnhardt. Meanwhile, Alan Kowicki's trying to run down Tim Richmond here. We've only really seen Alan Kowicki be fast enough to really win a race one time, and that was Richmond last year, and he wasn't able to pull that one through. Mark Martin ended up winning that race. So Kowicki just barely wasn't good enough for that. His other 3 wins at Martinsville, Charlotte, and Talladega, they were all pretty much probability wins. Though I do have to say, he at least, I will give him enough credit that he ran second for a large majority of the 1986 Pinnell Sweatshirts 500, where he ended up taking the victory, got his first career win there. Excuse me, not 1986, 1987 rather. He would go on to win the 1987 Coca-Cola 600, 2 weeks later. Here, Kowicki's got some pace. In fact, right now, Alan Kowicki, fastest car on the track, 148.497 miles an hour. We'll see if he can do anything with Tim Richmond here. The former champion. Should be noted at this point, Kowicki is an owner driver. He's really taking on the Hendrick juggernaut head on here. Oh, Kowicki's able to make Richmond slide up the track. And will Kowicki be able to get the position here through turn 1? Yes! Alan Kowicki to the lead here at Rockingham. Let's see if he can retain. I think Kowicki's a little bit faster than Richmond, but we'll see. Richmond does have long run speed. I don't know if Richmond's going to actually let him go here. He's gathered himself right back, and he is back on the chase of that number 7 car. No doubt about it. Tim Richmond is not going to let Kowicki get by that easily. He's going to try to make it happen, however. Does not appear that's going to happen, though. Right now, looks like Kowicki is pulling away. I haven't really seen Tim Richmond make up a lot of momentum here. Yeah, I think Kowicki's just inching away lap by lap. Meanwhile, going back here, we've got an interesting battle for the 4th position. Terry Labonte trying to hold off a hard-charging Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt. Rusty Wallace, he's currently in some sort of ownership struggle with that team. It's known that this will be his last year in that number 27 car. Nobody really knows what Rusty Wallace is going to do when his legendary owner, Raymond Beadle, more known for owning NHRA cars than owning NASCAR. But hey, he's gotten back-to-back 4th place finishes in the Winston Cup points. Can't be too disappointed with that. And considering he's also got 10 wins in his career, 11 wins in his career, he also got one with Tim Richmond. Gotta say, hey, he's doing pretty good. Right now, it looks like it's Kowicki, Richmond, and absolutely everyone else. I don't really see anyone else stepping up to the plate here. Not as of right now. Ernie Irvan trying to take the 9th position away from Ricky Rudd here. See if he can do that. Ernie Irvan with a new team this year. He has something to prove. That is something I will tell you right now. Ernie Irvan, he came into this car and he's like, you know what, I've got something to prove and I'm going to prove it to you guys. And he's come out here, he's looked pretty good to say the least. getting that 9th position away from Ricky Rudd. That's pretty good. Sterling Marlin just outside the top 10 here in 11th. That's usually where Marlin floats around, anywhere between 9th and 13th. Meanwhile, Rusty Wallace, he drops position to Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt's trying to run down Jeffrey Bodine. And here it looks like the leaders have started to catch lap traffic. And Richmond's going to go for the lead. Richmond down to the bottom of the track. Kowicki way up high. Richmond doesn't get the run off the corner. Kowicki retains the lead. Lap traffic, as always, playing a huge factor in this race. We'll only see that factor increase as time goes on, as they catch the more thick lap traffic up ahead. Meanwhile, Dale Earnhardt, he is going to get around Jeffrey Bodine here for the 3rd position. And boy, for the longest time, it looked like Earnhardt was going to be the man to beat all the time at this track. 1984, he looked dominant. 1985, he went surprisingly winless. And then 1986, he comes here to Rockingham, dominates. 1987 comes here to Rockingham, dominates. 1988, he pretty much handed over his dominating trophy to Rusty Wallace, who is trying to run him down. But Earnhardt trying to return to his form of dominance here at Rockingham. You don't really see a lot of drivers going out front and dominating races anymore. But it'll happen. Yeah, this isn't like 1984 or 1985 where there is significantly less parity in the competition, where it was basically Dale Earnhardt, Darrell, Waltrip, maybe Terry Labonte, maybe Harry Gant. That's about it. You've also got Bill Elliott. Can't forget about Bill Elliott. But other than that, you know, that's about it. Back up to the lead battle here. Richmond's trying to find a way around Kowicki still. Oh, sorry about that. Trying to get to the high lane, can't get it done. Trying to find some way around Geoff Purvis. Purvis taking over that 52 car from last year. Would be running for Rookie of the Year, but he ran more than 5 races last year. So he is still in the running for... He is not in the running for Rookie of the Year. But this is his first full-time season in the NASCAR Throwbacks. Late Speed is now the next car to get in these guys' way. And it seems like this lap traffic is actually more or less disrupting Tim Richmond's run on Alan Kowicki rather than helping Tim Richmond. Usually it goes the other way. It has not gone the other way today, at least so far. Kowicki's done a good job with the lap traffic. Richmond is right there, though. We'll see if he gets a good run off of turn 2. He does not. He's going to be right to the bumper of Kowicki here in turn 3. That should invite Kowicki to pull away a little bit down this straightaway and into 1 and 2, where Kowicki is definitely the faster car. Yeah, that little bit of aero push will definitely do it for you. Richmond is hounding the 7, but he hasn't been able to take advantage of any mistakes by Kowicki so far. Kowicki pretty much running mistake-free here up front. Meanwhile, Earnhardt has been able to get around more lap traffic than Wallace. And back here, look at this cluster. They were going 4 wide. Oh boy. Poor Jack Pennington getting stuck in the middle there. That is just awful. Anyways, Terry Labonte and Bill Elliott will be the benefactors there, and Geoff Bodine is going to slip way back. Another benefactor might be Ernie Irvan, because here he comes now. Meanwhile, Ricky Rudd, he seems to be slipping further and further back as Sterling Marlin's running him down now. So Marlin might be able to kick Rudd outside of the top 10, which would be crazy. And your current points leader, Darrell Waltrip, he's currently running in 13th. That's about where he ran last year. So now Elliott is up into the top 5. Took him a little while to get there. Elliott is usually the man to not necessarily win this race, but to get pretty close to the top 5. You usually don't see him up front at this track. Meanwhile, Richmond is still trying to find a way around that 7 car. And Kawicki continues to run a really solid race. No mistakes out of that 7 crew. It's been pretty much smooth sailing for Alan Kawicki to this point. And here Richmond is just trying to do anything to get around the 7 car. And it's just not working out for him. No, it's not. It's really not. Richmond's tried the high lane to catch up. Doesn't work. He's tried the low lane to catch up. Doesn't work. So pretty much he's thrown the kitchen sink at Kawicki so far, and Kawicki survived here at the front of the pack. You'd figure, hey, maybe Tim Richmond's got the long run speed, but and Kawicki's really held strong here at the front of the pack. Again, we really haven't seen the 7 car go out there and lead a significant amount of laps. But he's doing it today. Kawicki, he's going to be able to get around Dick Trickle here. That was another great move. Richmond trying to force it 3 wide. All sorts of chaos going on here at the front of the pack. Meanwhile, Elliott's broken away from these guys, so Elliott's got a pretty good car today. You take a look at the fastest lap charts. He is 5th fastest. Oh, look at the run by Bodine here. Can he carry it off into turn 1? Look at the run by Irvin, too. Bodine unable to make the move on Labonte. And just 1 year ago, just a few races ago, these two were in the opposite rides. Bodine was in the 5, and Labonte was in the 11. Now Labonte's in the 5, Bodine's in the 11. Bodine looking to the inside, can't get it done. Labonte holds strong. And Irvin's just sitting right there. By the way, Sterling Marlin was able to get the 10th position away from Ricky Rudd. And we've got pit stops. Elliott's hit pit road. So we're going to go back to the front, show you the leaders, and see when they're going to hit pit road. I think it's a bit early to hit pit road yet. Tim Richmond goes down pit road. A lot of people down pit road. Kowicki remains out on the track, as well as the three-time champion Dale Earnhardt. We'll see here, Kowicki, he peels off to pit road. Earnhardt peels off to pit road. Kyle Petty stays out, but he's not on the lead lap. So we'll watch Rusty Wallace here and see what goes on. Rusty Wallace among the first people to hit pit road. Wallace tried to beat everyone out on speed last time. It didn't quite work out for Wallace, but he tried his best to do it. And here, this time he's going to try to use a little bit of pit strategy. Looks like it worked out to his favor. He caught up a pretty good amount to that 25 car. And coming out of pit road, Kowicki's going to be way back. So Kowicki is not the benefactor there. That's the 12 of Hutch Strickland. That wasn't Geoff Bodine. I thought that was Geoff Bodine. And now here comes Wallace. Oh, he makes a quick move on the 25. Side by side off of turn 2. Can Wallace keep the momentum going to turn 3? Richmond on the cold tires. That'll do it. Your new leader, number 27, Rusty Wallace. Oh boy, lap traffic is just not giving Wallace any favors there. Well, Wallace is in the lead for now, but how long is that going to last? Here comes Richmond. Is it going to be the same thing as before? Looks like so taking a look at the running order after that round of pit stops, it looks like it's going to be Rusty Wallace, then Tim Richmond, Alan Kowicki 3rd, Bill Elliott 4th, Dale Earnhardt 5th, Phil Parsons 6th, Terry Labonte 7th, Geoff Bodine in 8th, Ernie Irvan 9th, and Sterling Marlin to round out the top 10. Boy, we're talking about, okay, who's this huge trade going to benefit? Is this going to benefit Hendrick Motorsports? Is it going to benefit Junior Johnson? I got to tell you what, I think this is going to benefit both drivers. I think both Terry Labonte and Geoff Bodine needed something to kick them into gear. Both of them are championship caliber drivers. Don't get us wrong. Both of them are championship caliber drivers. So, to see them battling in the way that they have, I think it's rejuvenated both of their careers. Even though Jeffrey Bodine is definitely on the older side, 41 years old, Terry Labonte, a lot younger than that. Wallace is really holding off a very hard charging number 25 car right behind him. Very, very hard charging number 25. Right now, Wallace is doing a good job. I don't know if Richmond's just waiting for a mistake or what's going on, but right now, she said Wallace is just doing a good job here at the front of the pack. No mistakes. He's been clean all the way through. Kowicki hasn't been really running these guys down either. It's been smooth sailing for Wallace here, but boy, that mirror is all full of that 25 car. Yeah, I don't think that Richmond's gotten off of the bumper from the 27 ever since he passed him. Oh, Richmond going to the apron to try to get around the 27 there. Trying to outbrake him going into 3. And this competition's going to lure in that 7 car, no doubt about it. Kowicki gaining 1/10.5 on that lap. Wallace basically running like a scared cat, trying to stay just a little bit out in front of the 25. So far, so good. Wallace, of course, all that we need to do is just roll back to last year. You want to talk about a roller coaster that he's had at Rockingham. Last year, oh boy, the second race of the year was at Rockingham last year, and Rusty Wallace was out front. It looked like he was about to pull away and dominate, and then he ended up getting into an accident, flipping in spectacular fashion down this back straightaway, got up into the catch fence in turn 3, and a couple of cars also ended up hitting him. And again, what was one of the most spectacular crashes that we have ever seen in the throwbacks. And of course, he would end up getting injured from that crash. And it really, really hampered the start of his season. He luckily didn't miss any races, though. He toughed out his injuries. And then, what was it, the third to last race of the season? Yeah, and Rusty Wallace come back here. He dominated. He led 119 laps. That was less than that. He led over 100 laps. He led over 100 laps. But just got outsmarted in pit strategy. And Ken Schrader ended up winning. So Wallace really having a love-hate relationship with this track. He loves going fast here. He loves having the fastest car here. But he just hasn't had the luck to do anything, as opposed to Richmond or Earnhardt, who, well, they've had success at this track. Meanwhile, Alan Kawicki has actually been running both of these guys down slow and steady. So Kawicki's about to join in on the fun here at the front of the pack, folks. This ought to be interesting. You are watching the GM Goodwrench 500 here from North Carolina Speedway. We are on lap number 58 of 123. Your leader is who you see on the screen right now, the number 27 black and gold Pontiac. Rusty Wallace is in the lead. In second place, the driver right behind him in the number 5 green and white Chevrolet. That's Tim Richmond. In third place is the red and white Ford, not too far behind them, Alan Kawicki. So first, second, third, we might have a crazy battle for the lead coming up here. Dale Jarrett, Lake Speed. These guys are getting in the way of the leaders. And oh, Richmond made the move there. He put the bumper to him. Indeed. New leader, 25, Tim Richmond. Now, will Rusty Wallace have any speed to go back after Tim Richmond in the 25? He might try to make a move on the outside here. I'm not 100% certain. No, sir. But Kawicki will make a move down to the inside. And that's going to be it for the 27 for now. Oh boy, Dale Jarrett is not a fast car at all. And now it's back to the original lead battle. Kawicki trying to get something done on the outside lane, can't get it done. So Tim Richmond is back in the lead here in lap number 62. Kawicki is in second, Rusty Wallace in third, Elliott fourth, Earnhardt in fifth. Should also be noted that we've got a really good battle going on for seventh. Phil Parsons, Geoff Bodine, and Ernie Irvin. Three drivers that definitely have something to prove. Now, all three of them have something to prove, no doubt about it. Here comes Bodine to the bottom. Bodine trying to get stuff done, and Bodine is through. So Bodine moves up to 7th. Irvin here, he's going to try to move up to 8th if he can. I don't know if he will. It does not look good. And no, he will not be able to capitalize. Meanwhile, it looks like Earnhardt has actually ran down Bill Elliott here at the front. Well, not at the front, but for 4th. I'm used to Elliott leading, but I'm used to seeing 9 car, 3 car. That's the battle for the lead. That is definitely not true. If this was 1984, 1985, 1986, yeah, that would be the battle for the lead, but that is just not true anymore. We've got other players for the championship. Right now, Elliott's staying out in front of the 3. I'm not seeing Wallace or Kowicki falling off of Tim Richmond any kind of fast, so maybe Wallace a little bit. He's now behind a 2nd. So I don't think that Rusty Wallace has enough car under him to win this race. But maybe he can be the one that plays the pit strategy today. We'll find out. Meanwhile, Earnhardt trying to get to the bottom of Elliott. Elliott blocked him to the apron. Yeah, Elliott slammed the door shut on the man in black there. I mean, you got 5 championships. I mean, you got 5 championships and 61 wins between these 2 drivers here. Bill Elliott and Dale Earnhardt are some of the best drivers that you'll ever see. No doubt about that. Both of them are historic drivers of their generation. Earnhardt down to the inside. He will take the 4th position away from Elliott. Both Earnhardt and Elliott are just crazy good drivers. But neither of them are leading right now. Tim Richmond is your leader, another crazy good driver. And right behind him in 2nd place, Alan Kowicki in the number 7. And in 3rd, Rusty Wallace in the number 27. We'll see what Kowicki can do. Or if Wallace can do anything, who knows? Now, I don't know if Wallace truly has enough car to come down and run the 25 or the 7 down. I think he's still one more key adjustment away from being better than either of these 2. But once they come back down pit road, man, I'm expecting this 27 to be in the lead and gone. Of course, don't forget, we usually average 1 caution per race at this track. So don't forget that there can be a yellow flag thrown at any time, and that will throw any pit strategies for a loop. And usually the races that go green the entire way are the ones that are the most interesting. Now you come to the line, there's going to be 50 laps to go in this race. So far we have been accident-free here at Rockingham, despite it saying that Joe Ruttman retired via an accident. I don't know what accident that could have been. Meanwhile, Tim Richmond's trying to get away by using the outside lane. And that right there is the difference maker between points champion of the series and a couple of hungry young drivers. Right there, the seasoned veteran Tim Richmond using the outside lane to get around the slow car of Larry Pearson. And there's Harry Gant. He's going to go a lap down. Now we got to ask ourselves, when's the next pit cycle going to end up being? You're going to expect everyone to start diving down pit road at about lap 80, and the 27 is going to be the first of them to come down. Lap 79, lap 80, somewhere around there is when they're going to start coming down pit road. Right now, the 25 is smooth sailing. Just watch for the 27 car to peel off to pit road. Now you don't want to pit too early. You want to have probably no more than 42 laps under your belt. Wallace is, I don't know if Wallace is just really slow or if Geoff Purvis has new tires. I'm going to guess that Geoff Purvis has new tires. And that is indeed the case. Geoff Purvis has new tires. So you're seeing the 52 car running here. He's several laps down, but he's got brand new tires as opposed to the leaders who are on very old tires. So you're going to see him running by everyone on the outside lane, I presume. Yep, pretty much running by everyone. Tires mean so much at this track. Wallace peeling off to pit road. That's when I was expecting him to go. So you gotta imagine Wallace is going to be coming back out with the lead. No doubt about it. Will Richmond come down pit road here? He will not. No one else will either. He puts Brett Bodine a lap down. So that puts 17 drivers on the lead lap. Neil Bonnet is the next car to put a lap down. Richmond pinning himself down to the inside. He's going to come down pit road, and he's coming down with Kowicki. So Earnhardt is also going to pit with them. Same thing with Terry Labonte. And there's the 27 of Wallace. So let's watch him as he comes around the track. And you're about to see what fresh tires can do for you in NASCAR. You're going to be shocked. Boy, it's a long way down pit road at this track. You gotta imagine Rusty Wallace has absolutely nobody pitting around him. Absolutely no one on the track. Now look at this. Look at how much of a gap those 2 laps meant for Rusty Wallace. It could be a race-winning decision. We don't know. Once again, Wallace is stretching the pit boundary. And we'll see if he played the pit strategy correct today or not. Rusty Wallace playing pit strategy roulette with NASCAR once again here at Rockingham. The question is, did he pull the winning numbers today? That's the only thing that remains to be seen. Right now we have to go way back. Here is where Tim Richmond is. 4.4 seconds is the gap. So we'll see if Wallace will be able to stay out for 44 laps. It's going to be a close one. Or if everyone has to pit at the last minute and somehow Earnhardt wins this whole thing. The world may never know. Now, right now, Wallace is about to put some fast cars a lap down. You got Mark Martin in the 6, Darrell Waltrip in the 17. These guys are not slow drivers at all. And there goes Mark Martin. He's going to go up the track here. So Wallace is about to put some fast cars one lap down. And this is definitely going to slow him down. This slows you down more than the slow traffic. I mean, Wallace is now going to have up to 12th place put a lap down here. And, you know, Mark Martin, he's going to battle you. He's going to battle you. He doesn't want to go a lap down. No. So he's going to try to battle you, but right now Wallace pulling away a little bit. Boy, with 4.6 seconds being the gap, I don't think that they're going to run down Rusty Wallace unless Wallace pits. Meanwhile, Kawicki trying to battle for the lead, not for second place. That has been the lead battle for the majority of today. That is not the lead battle right now. That is the battle for second. And for a good majority of today, Tim Richmond has been the winner. But Kawicki's been very, very patient in that second position. I think he's just waiting, saving his energy. We'll find out. Boy, you know, Rusty Wallace really hasn't gained on lap time. Yeah, he's still only 8th quickest. So, must mean that the track might be changing or something, and Wallace has just been able to keep up with the track better than everyone else. Everyone else has slowed down to a lesser extent than he has, or he just hasn't had open track. Who knows? Right now, Rusty Wallace is just looking for career win number 11 here at Rockingham. And Kawicki's been able to take the position away from Tim Richmond. So Kawicki is now in the second position, but the gap to Wallace now grows incredibly. It's taking a look, it's 5 seconds. 5 seconds to Wallace. With 40 laps to go, usually a good rule of thumb is if the lead is more than 1/10 of a second a lap, it's insurmountable. And 51/10 of a second, 40 laps to go, it's not going to happen. Oh, they just knocked it down to 45/10. No. Also realize that Wallace is getting slowed up by the 89 there. So Wallace got stuck behind a slow car. Now that he's free a little bit, we'll see if he can get back up to normal pace. Really, the big thing is Wallace going to be able to stay out there? Last time we knew Wallace wasn't going to be able to stay out there, but he was going to try to use the last 10 or 15 laps of the race to reel back in Ken Schrader. That didn't happen, and the 25 is back into the second position. So Kawicki and Richmond are really fighting hard for that second position. And also, we've got a battle for 4th. Let's not forget about this. between Elliott and Earnhardt. So these guys are really going at it too. This is all you gotta imagine this is all advantage Wallace. The more that they battle, the more that Wallace can really open it up out there. And the laps are really short at this track too, so boy, the laps really tick down quick at this track. There goes Earnhardt around Elliott. That was a great move. Didn't even need to use the bumper there, but Earnhardt moves into fourth. This battle for second is still not done. You know, who knows who's quicker between the two of them. I say that they're identically fast. They're reeling down Wallace again. And I just have a gut feeling that this is going to be the battle for the win. If this is a 120 lap race, Wallace won. Just putting it simply, Wallace won. If this was a 120 lap race, Wallace won. But this is a 123 lap race, not a 120. So I don't think Wallace is going to be able to take this one home. I really think that this is going to be your battle for the win. But we'll find out if there's any magic pixie dust on board the 27. It was actually able to put the 17 a lap down, meaning that only 11 cars are on the lead lap. And there's Morgan Shepherd and Phil Parsons battling for the last position in the top 10. So if that tells you just how fast the 27, the 25, and the 7 have been, a top 10 is not even going to be enough to net you a lead lap finish today. And we're only on lap 102. So, man. Yeah, usually once you start seeing -1 lap inside the top 10, you know you had a really fast car. Either that or a really good strategy. Wallace has had both today. There, he's going to give Eddie Bierschwale his second lap down. He's also going to try to put Hutch Strickland 2 laps down, put Richard Petty 2 laps down. 20 laps to go. Wallace is holding on strong. But the thing is that he's got to be able to make it those last 3 laps. Like I said, 120 laps, no problem. I think those final 3 laps are going to be absolutely miserable for the 27. Yeah, I really think it's going to be miserable for the whole track, but especially miserable for the 27. I think there's going to be, I think just on the final lap, they're going to be down almost into the 120 mile an hour range for lap times. I think they might not even be turning 130 miles an hour by then, but we'll find out. We'll even see if they stay on the track. Now, Richmond's been able to reel in Wallace down to 3.7 seconds. I imagine it's going to go down again here to 3.45 seconds. However, that is very misleading due to lap traffic. Good luck getting around those guys, Richmond. Wallace has an open track in front of him. So basically, he can cruise right now. Wallace can just cruise. He can try to conserve his tires. He can try to conserve and get all the way to the end of this race. And that's what he needs to do right now. Conserve his tires, make sure he doesn't blow the tires off of his car, and he can make it all the way to the end. He just needs to take care of his car right now. Don't worry about putting Phil Parsons a lap down. Don't worry about putting Morgan Shepherd a lap down. Right now, his priority should be to just keep the tires on the car. It looks like Richmond continues to run down Wallace at a pretty good clip. So we'll see if that continues to come down or not. It isn't going to be enough, and it didn't come down that time. So right now the question is simply, is Wallace going to make it all the way? And if Wallace doesn't make it all the way, it's going to be between Richmond and Kowicki. Yup. Jack Pennington coming back out onto the track, disrupting Wallace's line a little bit. That's going to wear out Wallace's tires just that little bit more. Kowicki's gotten back around the 25. So Kowicki is back in the second position. Oh boy, I think, if Kowicki will end up winning this, it would be his first official, well, his fourth win of his career, but really his first non-fluke victory in the throwbacks. That's taken a while. Wallace continuing to just chuck laps down. He should not be battling that 47 car. That 47 car, fresh tires. Fresh tires on the 47. Rusty Wallace has very old tires. So Wallace should not be concerned about running down that 47 car. I really don't think he is. Man, 3 wide. Wallace needs to make sure he also stays clean and doesn't wreck. Larry Pearson really slow in the high lane. Jeff Purvis is going to go by. He's also got the fresh tires. And there, Wallace slowing down a bit, letting those guys in front of him go, realizing, look, I can't be battling these people. I need to conserve my tires. 10 laps to go. Can Wallace make it? The gap is 2.2 seconds. I don't think they're gonna catch him regardless. It's gonna be interesting to see, but I don't think they're gonna catch him regardless. 9 to go. Lead's still about 2.4 seconds. So boy, that lead's come down a lot. Earnhardt's within 10 seconds. So boy, Wallace has really been dogging it. Yeah, he's only concerned about getting to the checkered flag right now. Wallace really bringing down the pace. Just doing enough to keep the heat in the tires, probably. Kowicki is now down to under 2 seconds. They're getting close. Wallace is going to have to stretch his tires just that much more than everyone else because he's short pit. Is that going to cost him? Richmond's back in the second position. Oh boy, Richmond is actually right there. Richmond starting to come into the picture at the top of the screen. When we come to the line, 5 laps to go. Wallace is still going out there. And again, if this race was 120 laps, Wallace is your winner. Undoubtedly, Wallace is your winner. By the way, Kowicki's moving back into the second position. So here you go. He comes off the corner there. Lap 120, 4 laps to go. Wallace trying to stretch his tires out just a little bit more than everyone else. Kowicki and Richmond are coming. Wow. The pace of the 27's way down. 27 off to pit road. Your leader is Alan Kowicki. And potential problems with the 25. He backs way back down. And I don't think there's going to be a single challenge for Alan now. Whoa, Alan backs way down. He's way up the track. It was too much to ask. The 25 is going down pit road. Is Alan going to be able to make it? He's got to. He's got this. He's got this. We'll find out. He is not. He's down on pit road. Who's going to be the... Here comes Earnhardt. He's not going down pit road. Earnhardt takes the white flag. 1 lap to go. Earnhardt is in the lead. I don't think anybody else is even on the lead lap right now. Earnhardt is the one that's able to survive Rockingham. And he will come off of turn 4. And he will take the checkered flag in the GM Goodwrench 500. My, oh my. Terry Labonte is being scored second. Ernie Irvin third. Rusty Wallace being scored fourth. Kowicki fifth. Richmond sixth. And Sterling Marlin seventh. So, Dale Earnhardt with career win number 40. This time here at Rockingham. And all of a sudden with that crazy finish, Darrell Waltrip is still your points leader by only 3 points over Tim Richmond. Dale Earnhardt with that victory will move up to 4th in points. You can see all of the craziness going on down below Bill Elliott. All sorts of crazy swaps for positions. But nobody has a perfect top 5 record anymore. Tim Richmond and Dale Earnhardt are the only two to have a top 10 in every race. Waltrip has a DNF here. He finished 10th. I don't know why they're giving him a DNF. I'm not sure what was going on there. Look at the scoring. Scoring's giving him a DNF. Shepard a DNF? Yeah, I'm not sure there. That's interesting, but this is how the race was scored. Dale Earnhardt leads 2 laps all day long, and it's the last 2 laps of the race. How about that? Dale Earnhardt is the one that's able to survive. Wallace gets the most laps led. What a crazy, crazy race. We'll see you next time for Atlanta. Oh, I need to go through the whole... I forgot to scroll through everybody. Sorry about that. Now, we'll see you next time for Atlanta.